Good morning, people! Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Thanks for joining us. Guys, don't forget to link below to the live stream tonight to Mike in the Night Wednesday nights. Yeah, Wednesdays and Saturdays now, it's time for Mike in the Night. Because everything is merged financially, pharmaceutically, militarily, scientifically, religiously. Everything that could be in the mix has merged into a conspiracy talk discussion. And it's all open source. It's all what's in the media. We don't break anything on here, but we like to discuss things and kind of put our pieces together and get the end of the puzzle. So construction of the Mickleham quarantine camp starts. So I was given video a week ago, from our man Matthew, who's on the ground in this area where they're building this. So we're going to have him on the show tonight. We'll have him as the first caller tonight. And then we'll have another caller in from New Zealand that's going to give us an update on what's happening with the lockdown there. So we'll have Craig on, if he gets a minute to come on. So here it is. Construction of the Mickleham quarantine camp starts. So, I mean, we were always taught to believe, once you get your jab, you're protected from everyone else. Once you get this, you're immune to it. You've gotten it. You know how to fight it. Your body knows how to fight it, and blah, blah, blah. Well, they're obviously going to come out with more strains and variants over time, and they're always going to be making up crap as they go along to fit the agenda. And we know that because of the video that was sent to me, 2 weeks ago? Where the great leader, Trudeau, who will win the election by a landslide in Canada because of the mail-in ballot system. They even have an article on the CTV. Skip the ballot box, go ahead and vote by mail. Yeah. So discussing that they got 40, 50 million, 60, 70 million vaccines till 2025, and they landed a deal with Pfizer. And yeah, it's interesting to see where things are going to head with that. So in Australia, they're stepping it up, and we've been, again, discussing the downfall of Australia here on this channel. Comment below if you're from Australia. How long have we been talking about the downfall of Australia, and which country in the Commonwealth will go first? We kind of rolled the dice more on Australia. We kind of went to Canada, but then United States is south of us, so it's more Australia because it's very independent and it's very easy to shut down. Same thing with New Zealand, right? We kind of rolled the dice between Australia and Canada, then Australia, New Zealand, then New Zealand, Australia, and then New Zealand put no foreign buyers allowed to buy property. That kind of stopped the money laundering, and then we kind of went back and forth. And then, yeah, Australia looks like it's the best one, the best petri dish, the best proving ground to get things done. So we have to stop that here. So construction is underway in Melbourne's Centre for National Resilience, the unwidely named given to the new quarantine facility, the Mickleham, with the camp set to open by the end of the year. So here it is. Just so you know, I'm not making this up. I only have video footage of it being built too. So there's nothing like... We're not breaking anything here. This is what's happening. We're getting sources on the ground telling this. A community engagement session was held earlier this week on progress of the fast-tracked 1,000-bed accommodation site for returning travelers. However, what happened to that island they had in Australia, way up somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Australia, way up? I think it was northeast. Correct me if I'm wrong. Northeast of Darwin. I'm not too sure. Or off the coast of Perth. I'm not sure. Where people could quarantine. It was a big quarantine and stuff. That would be delayed. Okay, so earthworks have begun at an empty paddock in Melbourne's north, which sits next to the federal government pet quarantine facility, and it's about 300 meters from home. Pet quarantine facility, and it's 300 meters from home? The project is being modeled on the Howard Springs Center in the Northern Territory, which has proven to be highly effective at preventing leaks of COVID compared to a hotel quarantine. So here's the deal. When I knew this COVID thing was all BS was in February of 2020, when everywhere's shutting down, but Canada's letting in foreign Chinese investors come in and launder money. And if you look at that, if you look at the numbers, there's over 100 million money laundering infractions in Canada in 2020. So, yeah. Multiplex has been engaged to construct the facility with 80% of the buildings to be fabricated off-site. The center, extended to 3,000 beds, would be operational as soon as 500 are ready later this year. So they're already preparing this far in advance, just like they're getting the vaccines prepared far in advance. Among the issues raised, the public and the information session on Thursday were questioned about the impact on the real estate prices. Again, real estate's been a big deal in Australia because you have to basically sign off on your grandkids who aren't even born yet to be able to afford a down payment. And that has to do with a lot of Chinese investment and money laundering. We've been covering this for years on this channel. Oh, on our banned channel on YouTube. The threat of the virus escaping into the community and why residents are only receiving information about the project now. And it just goes in to say that homeowners are peed off because it might bring home values. That's what Australia is about. It's about they export homes, right? Like Canada, New Zealand, Australia, all these countries export real estate. That's their major export. No, they don't fabricate homes and ship them to China. They sell them to foreign investors and the highest bidders. We've had articles back in early 2020 where Australian housing market's suffering due to the lack of foreign investing. The housing market is so dependent on foreign money leaving its shores. They did this with colleges, universities, and all these people that all these renters that own these, landlords that own these properties that rent out are going to be in a bit of a bind going forward because of this. You know what I'm saying? People are in a bind. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So I kind of wanted to put this out there because, I want to talk about these things because they're not breaking developments, but they are things that we should look at and piece together and connect the dots on what's happening in the future. We could easily see it right here. And I want to thank for the footage. We're going to play some of the footage tonight live on Mike in the Night link below. We're on Odyssey now. Odyssey is great. You could tip me now. Odyssey approved my channel. They verified me. I've been on YouTube since 2010. 2011 when they took my first channel down. I had 30,000 subscribers, and then I came back in 2012, and then they removed scores of my Australian housing videos, New Zealand housing videos, Toronto housing videos, Portuguese being deported from Toronto, tens of thousands of families being deported out of the country. It's sad, but it's almost like they want to remove history. Like, what would history look 100 years from now? World government saved the world from a mass pandemic. While conspiracy theorists were spinning lies to misdirect and inform people, working for a huge cabal. I work for my family and my kids. I work for the people, the hardworking middle-class people that have contributed to this infrastructure and no longer have a say in the matter anymore. Because now other people... Remember, these Western countries are extensions of Europe. Leadership of the 60s. Not ask what your country could do for you. Ask what you could do for your country. And that's during the infrastructure building time when America was being built in a new society of freedoms. Anyways, I hope America doesn't lose its constitution. I hope the only guiding light in the world doesn't lose its guns. I really hope America could stand up and stay strong to this. And you're welcome to come and bring peace to Canada. Comment below. Let me know. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.